All right, folks, what is going on? This is episode 466 of the First and Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller. Over here, we talk about Georgia Southern and Atlanta Falcons football. And if you're looking right now, you probably see, if you're on the YouTube's The Rumble, you probably see that the camera is a little bit different. I bought another camera for the overhead look, so it does look better. The other camera that I had to get rid of. I'm using it for something else, but now hopefully the show looks a little bit better because the overhead camera looked kind of dim. But this one looks much better, so I'm very excited for various reasons about this episode. That's just one of them. Today, we're going to talk about Marcus Mariota and why Falcons fans want to embrace him. If you've been a Falcons fan for a while, you kind of know where I'm going at with this, but we're going to talk about it. Also, we're going to talk about his play from yesterday when he played the Carolina Panthers, and we're going to, not only that, we're just going to go even a little bit further and just talk about his play this season in general, halfway through the season, and how fans feel about, Marcus Mariota, in my opinion. So we'll just go there. If this is your first time here, welcome. I could be found on YouTube and Rumble. I'm also on Anchor, Stitcher, Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. And I want to thank you guys for the support. Like I said, I say this all the time, but I really mean it. You guys really make this go. Without you guys, I wouldn't be here. Like, seriously, I wouldn't be doing this. So, but I love the fact that I get feedback from you guys, and you guys just keep it, amazing. Good feedback, good comments in the comment section, knowing that people are listening and watching through the podcast avenue or YouTube or Rumble. I really, really appreciate it. So all the links are down in the description if you want to support in any other way. And let's go ahead and get into this. Marcus Mariota for this team. Now, I hate to say this, because I'm one of these people that's not on board with Marcus Mariota, but he's doing a pretty good job for this team. And I'm gonna be honest, I cannot help but to say it. Overall, we may not like the way things are going, the way he's playing, or whatever the case may be, but when you look at everything that's going on here, he's doing a pretty good job. He's, I just can't say it any other way. And I know that the Falcons fans aren't going to embrace him. I know they're not. I mean, they look at what he's doing, and I'm not a fan of it either. But I have to look at it from the outside looking in. Like, if I'm not a Falcons fan, for what Marcus Mariota is doing, looking at his numbers and the way that he's playing, it's very hard to be upset at the overall picture. Yeah, I'm dead serious about that. I know people are probably like, okay, he's crazy. I don't want to listen to it anymore. But if you want to be honest with yourself, if you want me to be honest about this, I want you guys to hear me out. Like, seriously. Marcus Mariota right now is 112 for 178, which is 63% of passing. People may say, oh, that's nothing. You want to be up in the 70s. Well, this is how he's been all his entire career. One time he's been above that was, 68% in 2018. But, he's 62.9%, 1432. 10 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Now, I will say the last 2 interceptions he threw, I'm not going to say they're his fault, but they were toss-ups. They were 50-50 balls. It wasn't the fact that he threw the ball into like bad coverage or anything. It wasn't a situation where he, just threw a bad pass. Like I said, it wasn't a bad coverage. It wasn't a bad pass. He just basically threw it up there, and I don't know why they're throwing up there to Damian Bird like that, or I think it was Damian Bird both times. I could be wrong. But you're throwing it to smaller receivers, and that's what you're going to get in one-on-one situations. You want a jump ball with one of your tall guys to get the interception. So I'm not even going to really put those on him per se. So you're looking at 10 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. If you look at the rest of his season stats from ever since he's been with Tennessee and Las Vegas, he's basically doing what he's been doing this entire season. He hasn't regressed. He hasn't gotten worse. And for all intents and purposes, if he keeps up where he's going to probably have his best season of his career, which tops the 2016 season where he had 26 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. Well, I know you say, hey, VF, what are you talking about? 26 and 9, he's already at 6 interceptions. Yeah, but he's already at 10 touchdowns. He hasn't thrown that many touchdowns in a while, and he's on pace to be probably at 24, 25. And if they keep up with the passing game the way it was going today, he could easily get up to 30 touchdowns. And I'm not joking. I'm not joking about that, because now you're looking at a situation where he can get 3, maybe 2 or 3 touchdowns a game. Now you're probably looking at a situation where he can get 20 more touchdowns before the season's over. I mean, but the thing is, they don't really trust him passing the ball. And I know a lot of fans are sitting here looking at this like, we don't trust him either. And I understand where they're not going to embrace him, because of the simple fact that he's not winning the way that some of these fans want him to win. Well, I'm not even going to say win. He's not playing like they want him to play. And for me, I'm not a fan of it either. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I am, and I'm actually trying to cape for him. It may sound like it, but I'm just looking at the numbers. He's not doing it the way that Atlanta Falcons fans want it to be done. He's also ran for 280 yards and got 3 touchdowns rushing as well. That same season, his best season that he had in 2016, he only ran for 2 touchdowns and had 349 yards rushing. He's already at 280. He's probably on pace to get almost 600 yards rushing. So you add 600 yards rushing to probably about 3,000 yards passing. I mean, that's a very productive season, and that will be the most rushing yards that he had. But it's not the way that we're used to. I mean, if we want somebody who's going to run the ball from the quarterback position, we want a Michael Vick. A lot of people wanted, a Justin Fields, or they wanted Willis from Liberty. They want somebody who's going to run the ball. They want somebody to really run the ball. So this is not the way they want it to be done. And if you're going to pass the ball, we're so used to seeing Matt Ryan throw the ball the way he's throwing it, or where he's been throwing it. If it's not up to that level, they don't want that type of quarterback. So it's almost like a catch-22, because you kind of got a balance of both. And I'll be the first one to tell you, like, he hasn't been completely impressive. I've been wanting him to get on the bench and let Ritter play. But when you really look at what's going on here, Marcus Mariota is basically a few miscues away of having a really, really good season. The interception for the Rams, the fumble against the Saints. You know what I'm saying? He's a few miscues away from having a really good season. I mean, like a really good season. But I think overall, with his skill set and the way that he's playing, I think that he's done fairly well for this team. I think he did pretty good for this team. I mean, you're getting exactly what you're getting out of Marcus Mariota. If you look at these stats, because I'm constantly looking at him, I don't see nothing different from what he's done in Tennessee or Las Vegas. No difference. I think he's gotten a bad rap because of some of the situations he's been put in. He's really been trying to get his groove back because he hasn't played as a starter in 2 years. So I get it. I get some of the rustiness, but I can't forgive some of the rustiness. I mean, some of the mistakes that he made. Rustiness, yes, but some of the interception and the fumbling, I know that's a part of rust, but Jesus Christ, some of the stuff was like really, really bad. But you want to know another thing I want to talk about the Falcons fans? Falcon fans are broken, man. We're broken. 28-3 broke a lot of Falcons fans. I see some people on Twitter. I really don't want to talk about a particular person, but there are some people on Twitter that claim that they're not invested in the Falcons anymore, but they're constantly tweeting about the Falcons. But, we don't want to talk about that. But you have other people that are constantly finding negativity in everything that the Falcons do. Like I said, I think 28-3 broke a lot of Falcon fans, a lot of them. And with that being said, it's nothing positive can come out of what Marcus Mariota do. And I think that's the main reason. I know it's 9-10 minutes into this show, but that's the main reason why Falcons fans, most of them, will not embrace Marcus Mariota. Hell, they barely embrace Matt Ryan, and some of them really showed their true colors when Matt went to the Colts. It is what it is, man. And the thing is, this is one thing about me personally. I always, every week, whether it be Atlanta or Georgia Southern, and I'm kind of a little more impartial to Georgia Southern, but that's another story for another day. I always try, every week, I try to take a step back and look at this team as if I was not a fan of them. And I have to look at what is in front of me as far as what the Falcons are doing. And at 4-4, and they're leading the division right now, to be quite honest, you couldn't ask for anything more than that. This team is on pace to probably win 9 or 10 games. They're on pace to win about 9 or 10 games. You got to understand, they got 9 more games left in this season. The way the schedule is going, they could possibly win, 4 or 5 of those games. Maybe 6 if they push it. Because the Falcons themselves, this is not a bad team. A lot of people look at the Falcons and they're like, all right, what's the problem with the team? And they immediately go to the quarterback. And I get it. I mean, he's made mistakes. But when you look at what they're doing, you look at what the Falcons are doing, they have a recipe of actually doing some things that are really, really good. Really good. And you get slightly better quarterback play, whether it be from Mariota or Ritter, whatever the case may be, you're probably looking at a 9 to 10 win team. Because you got to think about it. We got to play our divisional rivals 3 more times, which right now, I'm not going to say it is, but right now, you look like you can win all 3 of those games. We can beat the Panthers again. A few mistakes out of the way, that game is done. A few more mistakes that if we make less mistakes, we could have single-handedly beat the Panthers, this past game. Limit the mistakes on that. Turn around, you got to play the Saints again, which nobody believes that the Saints are going to beat us. Yeah, they looked okay against Las Vegas, but that's Las Vegas. The Saints don't look that good. And then we got to turn around and play Tom Brady again. I'm not betting against Tom Brady, but look, if they keep going down the downward spiral that they in, it's just going to be ugly. Then they got to come to Mercedes-Benz to play. It could be. So you're looking at 3 right there, and you look at a few more of these games. I think right now the only game that really looks tough is the Ravens and the Chargers. And I don't want to go that far down the road, but you're looking at a team that could probably win 6 out of the next 9 games. But the thing is, the Falcon fans do not want to embrace this because it's not the way they want it to be, or they've been let down so many times, they don't even know how to accept any type of W. People are already saying that the Falcons are going to go to the playoffs and lose in the first round. How do you know that? I'm not going to say they are. I mean, how do you know that? You play one game every game at a time. A lot of people say they're going to lose this game. Hell, I'm saying that they're going to lose against the Chargers. But I don't know that. I mean, once you go out there and play, anything can happen. We clearly saw that in the Panthers game, yesterday. You clearly saw that. Anything can happen. We were supposed to lose that game at least twice. At least 2 times we were supposed to lose that game, and you saw what happened. So, with that being said, is anything can happen when it goes out there. My main thing is you give this team a chance. When they go out there, the game's not over until it's over. And I'm never going to count a team out, but when I'm looking at what's going on, they're playing pretty good ball overall, but the Chargers are a better team. I'm not going to sit here and say that we're just going to beat the Chargers. No. It's a high possibility that we lose this game. Single-handedly, not single, but, handedly lose that game. The Chargers are just a better team. You got a defense with a front 7 that can get up on people. You got an offense that can move the ball. But then again, you turn around, we said the same thing about the 49ers, and we basically beat up on the 49ers a couple weeks ago. So, like I said, when you go out there and play ball, anything can happen. You just go out there and execute your game plan. And to be honest with you, when you look at Marcus Mariota, especially this last game, he executed the game plan fairly well. I want to say something about it, but he did a pretty good job. 20 of 28, 253, 3 touchdowns. And like I said, the 2 interceptions that he had were, they were toss-up 50-50 balls. It wasn't he threw the ball in the bad coverage. He didn't throw the ball in, on a bad read. I mean, those 2 jump balls to a guy that was under 6 foot. I think. Don't quote me on that. I don't know how tall Damian Bird is or whoever else he threw the ball to on the deep route. They're just small guys. I don't know. It is what it is. My main thing is, I get it. I know why people feel this way about Marcus Mariota. I get it. I'm one of these guys that I felt that way about him at times too. It's very hard to embrace a guy like Marcus Mariota. It's hard because we know what he's capable of, or what his limitations are. But when you look at what this team has done, and you look at this stat line from the past game, and you also look at everything he's done throughout the season, outside of 2 or 3 miscues, you're looking at a pretty solid performance overall. Pretty solid. You see what he did in overtime against the Panthers. He did pretty good. He ran the ball and get it. He did some things good. I can't really. I really can't fault him for the Panthers game. There are some things you can fault him over. Some bad passes, some bad plays, some crazy turnovers. But I'm going to sit here and just ride with it for the time being, because Marcus Mariota has done his job. Overall, he's done his job. But I just don't think the Atlanta Falcons the fans will embrace him, if ever. He could go to the playoffs and win a playoff game. He can win 2 playoff games. It's not far-fetched that the Falcons could go to the. I'm not gonna go there. It could be a possibility they can win 1 or 2 playoff games. Seriously, you look at this team. You look at this defense. It's possible. Will it happen? Yeah, I don't think so. But I think they got at least 5. I think at best they got 5 or 6 more wins under their belt. They could easily, go, 9 and 8, 10 and 10 and 7. I don't know. I might be pushing that, but 9 and 8. They keep up at this pace. It's possible. Ain't got much else to say, man. Let me know what you guys think. If you like this commentary, hit the like button, share this podcast, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let me know what you guys think. Episode 456. Why do you guys think that fans won't embrace Marcus Mariota? Let me know. Why? Why you don't think that's the case? I understand it. I think I gave a pretty good explanation. Hopefully you guys know better than I do. You look at the numbers for Marcus Mariota, they're not that bad. There's some miscues that he could have done better, but hey, it is what it is. I don't know what to tell you about that. He's basically playing like he's been playing his entire career. You look at the stat line and look at all of his stats from his career, it's pretty much the same. So let me know what you guys think. I could be found on YouTube and Rumble, Anchor, Stitcher, Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. All the links are down in the description if you want to support in various ways. Let me know. All right, y'all. I'm going to get up out of here. You guys take it easy. You guys be blessed. Peace.